Greetings from across the ether. This is Dr. Hein, and I'm going to take you through today's MATLAB tutorial where we will be using calculus and some display options. Who's excited? I am. So let's get started. Well, we'll start by taking derivatives. So you can see we've defined an expression for pressure. I'm taking the derivative with the diff command, and I've got that pretty declaration at the bottom. And what you notice is that it presents the equation in a more eye-pleasing form. It doesn't actually change it, nor do you change the value of derivative. Derivative is still there. That semicolon, to remind you, suppresses the output. So if I rerun things, and first I'm going to clear the workspace and the command window, but if I rerun this, you will see both forms of the answer, and again, the second is perhaps a little more pleasing to the eye. Next, we have what I hope is a refresher on using the solve command to solve simple equations. Once more, we've begun with the ideal gas law, and what I'd like to do is solve for pressure given the value of pressure is equal to 1. So you can see the syntax, and there you go, R, T, and N. The tutorial describes why it's in that particular order instead of what you and I would write. So, question. What if you wanted to make that a variable? Before you go on, pause and determine, will this run? And now let's try it. As you can see, there's that red lettering. And what does it say? Oh, you introduced a variable, but you didn't put it in the sim statement. You can still solve for it this way, but you need to tell MATLAB that x is a variable. So you could use solve wholly as a variable solver, but you have to define all your variables. So when we do this, it works just fine. Usually we'd like a value, or you can see that here, this is almost akin to using the subs command that we've seen in other classes. But here is our very simple solution technique. Our next task is to review integrals. The first kind are the indefinite integrals. Once more, ideal gas law is defined, our symbols are defined, and we use the int command, where I have the thing that's being integrated over its range, and let's see what it spits out. I've used the pretty command, and you can see that, well, I guess it's pretty-ish, about as pretty as it gets from MATLAB. There's your answer. Notice that there is no constant of integration, so there is no plus c in this. That is one type of integral. Oftentimes, it is useful to have an integral go from defined limits, or definite integral. So what's the difference there? Well, it looks really similar to before, except that we define the starting and finishing, or the initial and the final values of our variable integration. But once more, we could put other variables in their place, just as long as we define them in the sim statement. Now, I hope this was a good warm-up. Hopefully these things look like things you've seen before, but if not, please send me an email. Check with Dr. McDonald. We can help you out. And there's more to come, don't you worry. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.